670 WOCA.
Ocala.
All right, 5 minutes after 10 o'clock. Nice looking Monday. It's October 9th. Can you believe it, Robin?
I know.
And
Going so fast.
about, 3 months ago or so, I think I saw some Halloween stuff for sale in Walgreens.
I know.
So that told me that Halloween was coming.
Christmas was in July.
Now it's not so far away. Saturday, October 21st, you and I are going to be at an event, and we're going to have a good time. We went to the last event over at the Fort King National Historic Landmark before there was a fort built there. Well, technically after there was one built there. The actual used fort from, a couple hundred years ago. But there's a new one being built there. And so there was a storytelling event. Lee Schwartz from the Ocala Public Libraries, Marion County Public Libraries, has been so instrumental in bringing some really great programs. He's humble. He won't say yes he has, but he has. Some really great programs to our community when he was at the library headquarters building, and since he's been at the Bellevue Public Library. Truly a leader in our community. And he's the reason we were at the last event at the Fort King National Historic Landmark. And he's the reason we're going to be at the next one. But we're not storytellers. We're just kind of being there, pumping the music out a little bit. Jack Copeland is with Lee Schwartz today, and the two are here to talk to us about the Bellevue Public Library Stories Under the Stars Phantoms in the Fort event, which is happening Saturday, October 21st. I hope you are all there. It's going to be fun. It was so much fun last time. I did not want to partake in the coffee. I don't know if that was you making it, Jack, but I did not.
Campfire coffee.
Let me push this button so we can see what you guys look like on the screen. There you are. Come on.
I didn't know it's going to be on television.
Well, you are now. I just pushed the button, and let me show this thing. Here's the flyer that Lee gave me. Phantoms in the Fort.
And that's on Facebook too. So if you want to go to Facebook for the Fort King National Historic Landmark, and the library will also be having it on Facebook too. That exact same.
So good morning, guys. I know we
morning.
did this off the air, but on the air, how are you both? Are you okay? How are you doing, Lee?
Yeah. Oh, the library came through the storm okay, and I personally came through the storm okay.
Nice.
We have FEMA at the library right now at headquarters, and we've had them at Bellevue too. So that's very helpful to people.
Yes.
And they'll be here through tomorrow.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, fabulous.
And Jack, nice to meet you. Have I met you before?
Yes,
You
I've
look
been on
so
the air
familiar.
before.
Yeah?
Well,
You taught me French, you said. What word did you teach me?
French is just English spoken really bad. You say, we say, pardon me.
Right.
And French would say, pardon. And there's, well, you can pick.
Today is National Canadian, what's it called again? Snowbird Day.
Snowbird Day.
National Canadian.
Galen's
That's
favorite
what I did.
holiday.
I know, he just was so thrilled.
What's that?
That's what I did for the hurricane. Is I ran.
You went to Canada? Oh, you
I went north.
So you're a storyteller and you're an author,
Yes.
obviously.
And a Vietnam veteran.
Yeah.
Well, thank you,
for
sir,
your
for
service,
that.
sir.
Yeah.
I love the way
Thank
you
you
talk.
for saying that.
Does it ever, Lee, when you find these storytellers, well, how is it that they all talk like this?
Yeah, they're amazing.
This is why I'm not a storyteller. I can't talk like that.
Yeah, he's something. We, it's funny. Jack is my neighbor, and I just told him out there, like for 2 years, I knew him as my neighbor Jack, and I'd walk around and talk to him. And then I also knew about an amazing storyteller in the area named Jack Copeland. This guy's amazing. You got to get him at the library. I never put the two together until like one day. I was like, oh my gosh, you're that guy. You're that guy.
Oh, wow.
And so, yeah, and there's another storyteller in our neighborhood named Roy. Same way, and you guys met him too last time. A great storyteller, and he's just a guy I met walking my dog. I mean,
Why was he walking your dog?
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's what I said. Hey, how'd you get my dog?
Hey, give me that dog back.
Yeah, that's my dog.
So, Jack, let me ask you something. I've often wondered this about storytellers because you guys hold my attention. I'm spellbound. I hate when the story is over. It's like, oh gosh, why is it over? Because I love listening to a good storyteller. I often wonder if it's not that different than like a musician, like a Billy Joel. If I go to see Billy Joel today, he's playing the same songs that he played in 1980 when I went to see him. All right. Do you do the same thing? Do you keep telling the same stories over and over?
Well, I get requests to do that. Actually, tell how you flew the airplane from the toilet. Tell that one again.
Oh, I want to hear that one.
Well, I've done a lot. I've saved people from hot air balloon crashes, and 120 people in one hot air balloon, and I've
Wow.
flown airplanes
That's a
from
big
the
balloon.
toilet, and I've done all kind of stuff. I even had an event with the moon landing. I was part of that.
Oh, my gosh.
I saw that in your book, by the way, when I just flipped through it. Well, tell me about that. What did you do with the moon landing?
Life and lies.
In those days, I was a TV repairman. This is way back. I worked for Sears, and I was a TV repairman. And I was sitting there in my home, fat, dumb, and happy. And the phone rang, and they were landing on the moon. It was the second landing. They were landing on the moon, and it was one of the guys from NASA, whose daughter I happen to know. And he said, his name was Whaley. He said, Jack, he says, have you noticed, are you watching the landing? I said, yes, I am. He said, the camera, the TV camera's not working. I said, I noticed that. He says, well, what do you think's wrong? This is the readings that we have. And he started talking to me in a foreign language. And I said, I have no idea. My dad always taught me if it didn't work, take the back off of it and spit in it and then whop it one. And he didn't take kindly to that.
I bet not.
They can't spit on the moon.
He said, but this is your field. And I said, but I didn't know you needed to know all that to fix TVs. And he hung up on me. But right after that,
What?
right after that, though, the camera started working.
Yeah.
I like to feel like
Like you
the
contributed.
back off and swatted it.
Oh my gosh! Do we have TV repairmen anymore?
I don't think so.
No, we just
I think
throw them
it's
away
just
now,
a
don't we?
new one, yeah.
We just throw them away. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, you spit on them and hit them in the back. That's what I do.
If they don't come back on, you just
Then you get a new one, yeah.
So, are you telling stories at this event on the 21st?
I don't know any ghost stories.
It has to be a ghost story.
Well, they're spooky stories, so they're
Stories. It's phantoms. And see, y'all don't know that place was built. The fort was actually built on an old Ace.
Hardware store.
yes.
Yes, but before that, it was an Ace tribe's burial ground, and so it's haunted.
What?
What?
Y'all didn't know that.
What
You
kind of a
originally
burial
didn't know
ground?
Ace?
What is that?
What's
Ace.
Ace, the tribes one of the tribes that no longer exists here in
Oh, what's
in
called
Florida.
Ace.
ACE.
Yeah,
Okay. Did that stand for something?
I don't know.
So
The Indians wouldn't have had, or the original people that lived here, way before Seminole.
Oh.
So you're going to tell a story?
I'm the MC because I don't have ghost story. Y'all like radio, I think.
I love
Yeah.
radio.
Remember Arch Obler's show, Lights Out, Everybody?
I think so. Yeah, that sounds right.
Well,
yeah.
that's the only ghost story I know is turn your lights out. You can do it if right now you close your eyes and just imagine you're in the dark and you be real quiet.
Close your eyes.
Be real quiet. You hear it? You hear it right over your left shoulder. Just don't open your eyes. Don't look. It's right over your shoulder. Don't you hear it? Did you hear that? And that's the only one I know.
Yeah, but that's very effective.
yes.
It's giving me
That is
chills. That's
cool.
very
You know, I was
effective.
wishing we were
afraid to
stereo. Then you could have talked over their left
Oh,
shoulder.
yeah, that'd be awesome.
look. How many storytellers will be at the event?
Well, the last couple events we did it just word of mouth and kind of impromptu, and they were amazing. But this time,
That's because you're amazing. The reason people showed up is because you
It's
invited
because
them.
of you, Lee.
no, it was
What?
a lot of people to make this happen. But
I saw Jessica and Jim
humble.
McCune there.
Yes.
Yeah. They didn't show up because they had a flyer. You must have called them.
I did call them. But
Yeah, yeah.
Jessica and Jack, they are part of the Storytelling Guild that keep it going. And then, Tallahassee people are calling me now, and Orlando people are calling me now to be part of these events that are coming up, because I think they're going to turn into something special. We have sponsorship this time. They're going to be a little bit bigger.
You do, you're wonderful.
Yeah, it'll be nice.
You knew
Worked really hard on this.
Did you guys? He's amazing. Did you know Don Leonard? By
Oh,
chance?
yes.
Yeah.
Don
Leonard used to come in here to talk about the Storytelling Guild, and he was fun to listen to. It was sad when we heard he passed.
He
Yeah.
was one of my favorite people.
Could you sit a little closer, Jack?
Yeah, we were just talking about Don Leonard outside. Out in the lobby, we were talking about Don Leonard because Jeremy Evans, who just did a workshop at the Bellevue Library on
Yeah,
storytelling,
yeah,
is
yeah.
really...
Last week.
Yeah, and he tells
Tuesday.
some of Don Leonard's stories now.
Oh, really?
And I say, this is what I learned from Don Leonard. He'll tell it, and I think that's pretty amazing, too, that just keeps going, that
And
artist.
one of Don's stories is in my book.
Is that right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, do you write them first, or tell them first, or and
little
it's-
bit of both.
It sounds like in Jeremy's case, he may not have even written it. So sometimes it's like a cover story.
He has a cover of a story you heard.
Yeah, like a song, like a cover song. But
For sure. Well, the last storytelling thing we went, Jack does this great split dog. Your Snooky Ramus the Third.
Snooky Ramus.
Oh, my daughter loved that story so much so that now, every time we go by their house, we knock on the door to look. Is his dog there? I want to see this dog. It's a dog. Well, I don't want to give it away.
You
but
have a dog.
Snooky
No, you got
Remus
Lee's
Copeland the Third.
I don't know. It's a silly story, but anyway, that's a story I heard in different ways. But boy, when he tells it, it's his story, and it's a cover and a mix up and a mash up. It's just pretty cool.
you are in a place. The books are just filled with stories. I mean, how
Yes.
did you get attracted to that world?
Well, my boss is Rosie Brusso, and she loves telling stories. She's a library person for a long time. And she
Listen
just-
to you. I just was asking you about you, and you shifted it to somebody
Well,
else.
and
And
she's
Robin
al-
does the same thing. I'll say to Robin, you're really good. Oh, my mother is really good too.
Yes, but she loves storytelling. When I was in graduate school at FSU, my last class I took was a storytelling class, and Christy Kuntz is the professor, and she might come down to these. She had a great storytelling class. I said, I don't have to take anything. This one fits my schedule. I want to take this class. And so in that class, I had to learn stories and tell them first in the class, but then also to total strangers. And at that time, I was traveling with my family, and I would have to round up strangers in the airport. And we're in somewhere, and because I had to tell like a certain story at a certain time to a certain number of people, and so I had to get their email addresses and they'd email the person and say, "I heard this guy tell this story," just to say I was really doing it because it was a online class,
Wow.
And so it was just fun. My kids heard me practicing, and I would practice with them all the time, and then I would just tell.
So that's how you got
That's
into
how I got
the
into it.
Oral
Oral part
tradition.
of yeah,
of
but once
telling
you
a story.
do it, it's amazing.
But I mean, in the world of books, I mean,
Oh,
you
yeah.
are
I love
in
stories,
Or
yeah.
how did that happen? Was that young? Were you into children's books? I mean,
I've always my mother's Robin's mother and my mother are both great readers.
Yeah.
No, and so she was a reader. My sisters, I have older sisters, they were always readers, and my dad too is a reader. So I loved reading stories, and I moved a lot as a kid.
you
so
read a lot, don't you?
a lot, yeah. I'd say.
Have you ever read a book because you heard us talking about
Yes,
it?
all the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, that's probably how you get your best book recommendations. Is someone saying, "Hey, this book is amazing," and then you would read it. I love that. Yeah.
Some of them I do too. Robin reads more of the books that we talk about on the air. Don't tell Jack because I don't always read the whole book, but but I read enough to kind of get the gist of it. Well, usually if it's a local author, I'll be honest with you, local authors I do read the whole thing. So,
But to both of
Read
you,
the disclaimer.
but both of you gentlemen, you Jack and you Lee, you're great mentors because this is a fun family event, and you've got everything from little children to retirees there, and you both are a great mentor because Jack, when you're emceeing and even when you tell stories, you're inspiring people to go out of their comfort zone and
you
do
sweet?
something new.
Aren't you sweet?
We might also have more children telling this time too. We had some last time.
I
but-
wanted to ask you about that a little
Yeah.
bit because it was wonderful to get people to stand up, but people are so shy. They'll be thinking, I got a story, but I'm afraid to stand up. What did you guys learn from the last time regarding that for this time? Like, how do you just say, like, beforehand, hey, you've got a story, right? I'll call on you.
Right. Right. Well, last time it was more unscheduled, people just jumping up. But I knew we had enough stories in the audience to make it the amount of time. So I didn't, and then people would just jump up that I didn't have any idea that they were there to tell a story, and they would just tell a story, and they were great. So, but this time I reached out because last year I went to Hammett Bowen. They have a storytelling club there. And I saw your picture on the wall there that you've made.
Of Hammett Bowen.
Yeah, of Hammett Bowen,
Not
yes,
of
not of yourself. I saw you guys in the magazine. I know you guys are important that way, but yeah, in your Ocala magazine.
Oh,
photo shoot.
okay,
Beautiful.
okay.
But no, Jessica McCune helped start a storytelling club there, and so I went and I told stories for those kids, and went and helped them to put on a little thing at the end of the year, and they were amazing. And so I reached out already to the teacher, Mrs. Whipple, to see if they'll come. And then at Blessed Trinity, where my kids go to school, we did a storytelling thing at the end of the year there too. And the great thing was I went with Roy, our other neighbor, to classes, and we talked about storytelling. We told stories. And the end of the year, those kids are so good. They can remember everything. I don't know how they do it. They got up there and just delivered great stories. So I'm hoping they'll come out too.
So, Jack, as the MC of the event, do you have any advice for somebody who wants to tell a story? What kind of a story should they tell? You said spooky, but should it be funny spooky or
Well, I don't.
sad
my
spooky?
Personal,
I don't
my
want any
personal
sad
belief,
stories. You don't want
this
sad
is just
stories.
me.
Yeah.
But my personal belief is if a story ain't funny, it ain't worth telling.
Thank you.
But
Spooky and funny, though.
spooky
Yeah.
and funny. Well, we plan to start out the evening with just fun stories. Not scary.
Family friendly, yeah.
Family friendly and fun, and then as the night goes on and the spooks start really coming out and the haints come up, they're gonna get a little scarier, isn't it?
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
And by the time it's over, people are gonna need a blanket to cover up under.
Yeah,
Maybe.
yes, yes.
You're going to have a campfire there.
Yeah.
You're going to have snacks. Do we need to bring chairs?
I would say it would strongly encourage to bring chairs because we, ran out of little seating last time, and I think it's going to be quite a lot bigger. We have the fort now on the premise that's being built. We were supposed to be in the fort, but Hurricane Irma kind of slowed that down. So we're going to do it in kind of the same spot we were, but we're going to be more of an amphitheater type. We're going to have a microphone this time because last time it was a little hard to hear sometimes, but still the fire, just that atmosphere being in the woods right there by that fort will be lit up. You can see that. The storytelling starts at 7, but you come out a little early, 6:30 or so. There'll be some great musicians setting the mood. And the great thing too about that is you get all those people just standing around talking like neighbors used to talk and meeting
There's
people.
other musicians too, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
good,
yeah.
good.
Well, you guys. Maybe Paula from the library, bring her guitar
Oh, I
in.
hope
yeah,
so.
she's
I hope
great.
so. Yeah, she was
Yeah.
really wonderful. Yeah.
So we have a couple other folks too, but yeah, I don't know. You're the main draw. We know that.
No.
Please. No, Jack is the main draw.
Oh.
Yes.
The storytellers are the main draw.
100%. I'm surprised how amazing everyone is. We just kind of did it to see how it would turn out. Kiefer Calkins from the city of Ocala, and the people that come are amazing. There's nothing like it. Nothing like just hearing stories, and people have been doing it for hundreds of years, and it still holds up. It really is funny.
So, Jack, go ahead. Sorry.
How do you, Jack, when you're mentoring a student and they want to do this so bad, but they're kind of introverted and they get nervous around speaking in front of people, how do you help them adjust to this world?
I personally have them tell it to me alone, and then they gradually get more comfortable with it. It's not a fear of being in front of people, it's the fear of making a fool out of themselves.
Oh,
And when you realize that that's really not a bad thing. It's not scary anymore, and kids get used to it, I think. What I've found in my experience is that, you tell, okay, we're going to get up and tell a story, and everybody just sits. Nobody moves. They just sit until somebody brave enough gets up
Somebody
and tells
breaks
the story.
the-
Then everybody's ready.
So do you have that-
Especially if it's bad, because they know they can do better.
So do you have people planted there who will stand up and get the
I
thing
usually
started?
do, yeah.
You're the guy?
Well, if anyone wants to tell, definitely come on out. Or if you want to call me first.
This is going to be more of a schedule tellers.
Do you know when we have people? Well, when you go to the Ocala Civic Theater, let me use that as an example. You realize these actors and singers and dancers are as good as anything you're going to see in any big city. It's really good. And Rob and I have done this show long enough to know that we've got authors who are just as good. They may not be published by Harper and Collins, but they are just as good. And these stories are just as entertaining. And it's a mystery to me as to why some people have HarperCollins saying, here's a contract, and other people don't. But ultimately, it's between you and the reader. So if the last guy we had on, if I read his book and I have feedback for him, it's his words and my response to his words. Does that work for you, Jack, as an author? Does the audience reaction of a written material equal that of a live performance? I guess
I don't think so, but that's me, because my book, if you were to read it, it's like me talking. It's not grammatically correct.
But you're not going to know if I'm laughing. If I read the book,
but I just want you to read it. But when I'm telling a story,
right,
the audience feedback is just really, really important.
Yes,
I can tell my funniest story, and if the audience is just sitting there, it's awful every time.
But you seem to get up close and personal. I mean, when you're telling your stories with a group of people, you're constantly looking at the people in the audience, and you're making each person.
Face.
Yeah, but you're making each person feel like you're talking directly to them, and that's a gift.
And that's an important thing in teaching children, to have eye contact, make eye contact.
Really, that's hard sometimes for kids, right?
Yeah.
It's hard for adults too sometimes.
yeah.
But Lee, there's no charge
No,
for this event. It's
no
totally
charge.
free. for the
It's really going to
spectators.
be, it's just an awesome way to come together and
Do you see this as
share.
an annual event?
Yeah, we're doing 3 stories. They're called Stories Under the Stars, is the big umbrella. This is Phantoms in
okay.
the Fort. And so we're
Okay.
doing 3. The next one is December 2nd, which is going to be they're doing a big reenactment at Fort King, and there's going to be Seminoles from the Seminole tribe on, and soldier reenactors, and they're going to come together, and we're going to do soldier, Seminole, and settler stories inside the fort.
Wow.
And so that's going to be really cool, and really, and then in the spring, we're going to do another one. And we're going to do kind of like we did before, like more casual. But, I think this will be every year. Keep going. I mean, just the reaction we're getting from people is very positive, and so I know it's a hit. And when you're experiencing it, it feels like, wow, this is something cool.
Right.
So,
And it's very family oriented because, the people leave their video games and stuff,
Yeah.
and then they're there and the parents are talking to the kids, and makes it really nice.
yeah, and you never know what's going to come out of people's mouths. It's really something.
Do you change the story, Jack? Like if you're in a different city, do you localize it? Do you say once upon a time down Fort King, and then you're in Gainesville, you say once upon a time down
University
whatever.
Boulevard.
Thank you. I mean, do you localize the story
Try
sometimes?
to, if you can. A lot of my stories I can't.
Mm-hmm.
Since I retired, I just sit around making stuff up, and some of it don't make sense no matter where you are.
Really? Have you made up a story on the spot?
No.
No, never.
No, I never have. I've been asked to lots of times, and I'm just not good at that.
Like what if we had like a left field question, and out of left field you just came up with a story?
I make something up, but I doubt I could come up with a story.
Yeah, that Jeremy Evans does that.
Jeremy Evans.
That's a guy, yeah.
We used to throw topics at him, and he would.
We used to do left field questions here.
Okay.
It's still in the computer.
All right, let's try.
Put on your headset. I'll have a left field question. I have no idea what it is. I just picked it at random. I put left 66. Tell me if you can make up a story based on this question.
What did you want to grow up to be when you were younger?
Oh, that's kind of a nice one.
Yeah, I could do that one.
You could do that
I wanted
one.
to be a spy.
A spy.
A spy.
Really?
James Bond. Oh, I was going to be good at it too. And then I got interviewed with the CIA, and they said I needed a college education, so I went to college. And then they came back and they said I needed study, so more study. So they sent me to Vietnam, and I learned so much there. I decided I didn't want to be a spy anymore.
Oh, wow.
That was
What a
quick.
great story.
But that was quick. I love the way you did that.
Story.
Oh, I wish we had done that more. Do we have any more time? Can I do another one?
That was crazy.
Oh, I don't have
we
much
don't.
time. I don't have much time. All right, October 21st.
Saturday.
Yeah, we'll be
And
there.
it's my birthday, too, so come with
On
presents.
October 21st?
Yeah.
It's your birthday?
Yeah, y'all come with presents.
Okay,
That's
happy
the only
birthday.
time I always show up with presents.
Yes, I'm always present. Yeah,
It's
that's
always
good.
present.
Lee Schwartz, Jack Copeland, thank you both for coming in here. Everybody else, Saturday, October 21st, go to the Fort King National Historic Landmark. The event starts at 7 p.m. It's a big fire. It's storytelling. It's music. It's fun. And Lee Schwartz, somebody please give you a medal. Thank you for what you do for this
Honestly.
community.
Thank you. Thank you.
Lee and Jack, thank you both. We will be right back.
Fox News Radio, I'm Chris Foster. President Trump's tying any deal allowing some young illegal immigrants to stay to changes he